This is something this is something I wanted to show you from the start, actually, and this is default curve I have set for my daily usage on the Noctua fans. This is modded Radeon 6800 XT gaming Z Trio with the dual Noctua fans, and this is the RPM that fans get on 20%, as you can see, and try to listen to it. Sorry, it's very late when I'm recording this. So let's hear how it sounds with the 30%. This is how this RPM holds. And now let's see 40%. During the idle, when I watch the videos or something, you can't hear it really. It never exceeds 30%. Now, during the gaming, this is max I can hear. Just for the science, I will show you 60%, which will be louder, definitely louder, but I haven't really heard it. And this is the maximal RPM I can get during the gaming, because dual 140mm fans cool down this GPU really fast. As you can see, I don't know how big is my ambient temperature right now, but I guess this is maybe 12, well, not 12, 22 degrees Celsius, not more, 20, 22. Okay, this is live test. I haven't tested it yet, but card look gorgeous and it have Samsung VRAM, so I really hope that there will be no coil whine and the fans will be quiet, or at least there will be no coil whine. So right now the GPU is not started at all, the fans of course. And I hear some of my fans started rattling, probably one of those 180. So let's start. As you can see, minimal RPM is 15, sorry. That's new to me on the Radeons, so let's start them and check how loud they are. I don't hear them almost at all, but that's 740 RPM. So let's see, 20 or maybe 30%. Let's jump to 30%. Enter and apply. I hear something. I hear the card is running, but it's not loud yet. Sorry, I have to rotate my phone vertically to see through those bars, and most important, my microphone would catch up. I don't know which microphone is recording the sound, the top or the bottom on this freaking phone. So let's go to 40. 40. Louder but still acceptable. This is 1700 RPM. I know how it's gonna be on the 15 already. I can feel it. This is 2100 RPM, but to be honest, this is 50% of the fans, and there is completely different level from the ASRock right now. So let's try 60. That's gonna be, that have to be loud, but as you can see, those value here is the top value that we can get, as I doubt it's gonna be hotter than this value. So 66, maybe we're gonna try the 66, or no, let's just try 60 for now. Yeah, that's pretty loud and unacceptable for me personally, but as you know me, or probably not, this is not a problem for me, as my older GPU, I don't know if I can zoom it, but it got my custom fan shroud. So maybe if I'm gonna be really lucky, it's gonna fit for the Sapphire. 66% start. Yeah, for me that's crazy loud, but let's revert to the default. Yup, and instant quiet. What I noticed is slower fan ramping up than the ASRock. ASRock was ramping like in 0.1 seconds, let's say. They were ramping up from this level to this in 0.1 second. That was crazy. So let's try. I don't want to use 0 RPM fan, but I'm gonna show you this. Where is? I think that's the biggest possible achievement for me. Right now, if the GPU won't have a coil line, I'm gonna stay with this card. That's very important for me. No coil line. And set max RPM, let's say 30%. Here 45, maybe 20. We are gonna try with this fan curve. I hope it's not gonna... Oh man, I hear the ticking noise. I don't know which fan is it. But I have connected the power cable. You see, my previous card had triple 8-pin power connectors. This card requires 2, but I have to be wary. Yeah, these reflections are great, but maybe we can enable here. As you can see, my fan from the CPU cooler ends up here, and it's going right here. So the power connector enters right under the CPU fan. Beware of this, because that might be problematic if you have, for example, Noctua NHD15 or something like that. But we are gonna test for a little bit. For now, slight undervolt. Minus 50. And power minus 5. Apply. Save profile, export profile. We are gonna base on this. If something will go wrong, and then launch the Cyberprank.
Yeah, boy. That's it. Lovely.
So my hotkeys are set and we are ready to go. I will just check if, yeah, everything's alright. Okay, moment of truth. I hope coil wine will be gone, not present, or very quiet. Shit. I forgot to limit the FPS. And the audio device is chosen differently after driver installation, but that's good. We're gonna hear raw loud noise of the GPU. This is the stock Cyberprank, no mods completely. And let's go. Wait 1 minute. Performance overlay. So we are running at the 87 watts right now. Something is not right. GPU frequency is also somehow low, but GPU usage is very low. Voltage is pretty low. Okay, it's ramping up. Let me see if I got proper settings, including the ray tracing. Yeah, we got limit of the FPS here. Thank God. RT Ultra XSS quality, as we all know how bad the FSR implementation looks here. Those reflections can be disabled if you use the ray tracing at once, because who need both techniques at the same time? So where is the map? I want to go to some more, you know, whoa, atomic blast or something, to more visible area of for the ray tracing effects, so they can heat up the GPU more. Whoa. I got to say the input lag on driving here is crazy. But the GPU is right now pretty quiet in terms of coil 1. I will let you hear it. But the fans are ramping up. Later I will show you how this GPU will look out of the box, how big it is. So this is my testing area, as I don't own the DLC for the Cyberprank. Yeah, I don't trust this developer and I say it publicly, and I won't support it anymore after what they did. So yeah, but this is my area of testing. Japantown, or yeah, there are a lot of lighting. But what's most important, holy crap, I will say you this is acceptable fan ramping sound. For this kind of performance, and what's most important, for this temperature of VRAM sticks. And AMD, for love of God, fix your overlay. I will have to wait, I don't have first hand. I will have to turn into I have closed the game by mistake, but I will have to turn into English just to see my fun RPM. That's a little crazy, actually. And we, with the English, it's looking like that. So great work, AMD. We are getting close, as we are standing, we are getting close to 2000 RPM. And you know what? I wonder, because I've read about the ASRock GPU on few portals, and people was little upset, if I can say it like that. The ASRock GPU was quiet, so maybe we can restore the default value of my overclock, including the 0 RPM mode, which is something I don't like actually, using the 0 RPM, and I don't know, wherever I open this scroll doesn't work. I have to use this. Performance, metrics, tracking, overlay. Where is tuning? So let's switch to default. That actually haven't changed anything, except higher voltage, but I can say this GPU is usable at default out of the box, especially when you hit the Samsung VRAM chips. I really hope that coil whine won't go up after a while, but right now I'm gonna dismount the GPU from the case, and I will show you from a few pictures and functions what you can do with this GPU once it's gonna be outside of the case. The way human is developing artificial intelligence, but still PCI PCI release button is here and I barely can touch it. Of course not with my hand, because I have to use this. And this is brush. Yeah. 2025. So yeah, this is the GPU. Alright. From this PC, and I will show you this just one more time. How close. Oh, sorry. I got too much coffee. How close this is to the radiator from the SSD. So when you got this close, it's gonna be right from to this page, to this side, and when you touch it with something a little bit bigger, you're gonna damage the heatsink from the SSD. This is not the default SSD heatsink, this is from the Big White, but still, even the default heatsinks that was mounted here was pretty big. But let's go back to the GPU. So As you probably see, you can take off the cooler by removing this screw and this and this screw, and probably something on the back might be. That's the first GPU with triple slot I got, but you can see over here there are some small screws. Probably you will gonna need to remove them also. And when you want to remove the fan shroud, you're gonna have to disconnect this connector. That's pretty simple. It's very cheap to get the adapter for the PWM fans, the normal 4-pin. So that's not the problem. Heatsink, the backplate is quite warm, I would say, and there is no, I am 100% sure, there is no thermopad over there, or maybe there is. No, there is no thermopad, but the card is quite cool, as you saw. Yeah, there is no thermopad at all. But I wanted to know if this is just, you know, overstretch. Yeah, that's not so fat metal, as you can see. That's just probably overstretch, you know, just like here. But yeah, the card is pretty awesome. This is the GPU I should bought in the first place instead of ASRock. But we're gonna see also the second side. Let me rotate the GPU. Okay, so just for a little, you know, super information that won't be useful for you probably at all. The most noisy fan is the one in the middle. That's from my numerous testing. I will show you the fan, the box with the fans only. There is ton of fans, and most noisy was the smaller ones. This is overall rule when you I will have to explain this, showing you the second side of the GPU. As you can see, there is one PWM header, 4-pin. The PWM signal is 1 for all 3 fans. So there is one signal for all 3 fans. But this fan and this fan on chosen signal power will rotate slower than this one. If this fan will be connected via second header, that might be actually quieter, but this small fan have to make more rotations per minute than those two. And this is all going from the one signal, from one header. So the card can't understand what fans it got connected, it just sent the signal. So the middle fan is the noisiest part of this GPU. But thank God, no coil whine at least yet. And I will remove the foil finally and will be able to finally use the GPU. But this is really a beast. And on all pictures I saw that wasn't presenting the real size of this GPU. Just to let you know, this is exactly the same cooler that Sapphire Pure is using. Exactly the same, just black. Yeah, so this is the GPU that finally will stay with me, but just give me a second. My big ass 6800 XT with this big fan shroud I made, dual 140s inside. As you can see, these are very similar sizes. This part only weighs about 1 kilogram, so it's gonna make the GPU suck a little bit. So I got here this is my patent. I got the screw with this, I don't know the English name, sorry, but you can you can attach this to the screw. The screw is completely sanded. It's perfectly flat. Maybe you can see it. It's perfectly flat. So this is the bottom part, so it doesn't really matter. I was using this and this, putting an O-ring on this so the fan shroud wasn't scratching. But also you can use the smaller PCV, the plastic tubes. I was using during the testing actually from this one, because that's the closest size. But if your size of the this plastic part is too small, you can cut it in the middle from here and put it inside, and you got the connector. You can join the two parts of those, I don't forget, rury. And this is the part I used for the GTX 1080 Ti MSI Gaming X3O. As you can see, there is a big difference. Sorry, that wasn't meant to be in the plan. That's the big difference with the GPU heatsink fat. Yeah, and this is the holder for the Gaming X3 of this fan shroud. So as you can see, there is, I don't know, 2 centimeters, maybe 2 centimeters difference. That's pretty beefy GPU coolers. You can't notice this on the pictures, on the shop page or manufacturer page. This card on all photos look very small, but it isn't. But that's good. The cooler have large heat capacity. Sorry, I'm not native English. It should work perfectly fine. If you want the better culture, the lower noise, you can replace the fans, and this cooler is totally enough for this GPU. So that's the number one GPU to go if you want to get the AMD 9070 XT. This is the number one GPU should go. I have read that a lot of those models have a coil line, and still a lot of them, if not majority of them, are using the SK Hynix chips, memory chips. And so I don't know what AMD was doing here actually, but for me personally, that it looks like they don't care. You simply should not care also, because when your VRAM will die, you will send it to warranty and they will just replace the VRAM chips for the Samsung. That's all you should think about. because that's just my opinion. That's not have to be the facts. But that's the only thing that comes to my mind, because I don't know what sense was using the SK Hynix. Maybe they were just, you know, fast forwarding the release of the GPU, and they didn't have at that time Samsung chips or something, I don't know. But the release of those GPUs was postponed, if you might remember. Maybe that was the reason, and they didn't want to postpone it second time. Maybe, not sure. So here it is, Sapphire Pulse. I hope you enjoyed it and got some lesson from this.